Hi, welcome back to Community Focus. We're here today with Peggy Parks from the Parks Image Group, and we've been talking about your personal image. And would you say it's dressing for success in a sense? I know that's
In
an
a way,
overstated...
it's not all about dressing for success. It's really sending positive messages to the world out there to become more friendly, more approachable, and to really bring out the essence of you. You don't walk around with your PhD or a photo of your house, or you need to have people know how...
Photo of your house.
Well,
if
you look like a bum, people will not treat you as well as if you look consistent with all phases of your life.
When I feel that, I'm very particular about grammar and communication,
Yes.
and if people use incorrect grammar, you assume that they're not very bright, which might not be the truth at all.
You're right. See, you're judging people.
Yeah.
It takes I keep saying that it takes 3 to 10 seconds, and it's all about making a great first impression.
Well, now let me ask you, who is your typical clientele?
Individually, I would say for individuals, the typical clientele would be a woman in her 40s or 50s who suddenly has seen a picture of herself either at her daughter's wedding or just a picture taken without her knowing it, and she's like, oh my God, what happened to me? I used to be 25 and here I am, I look middle-aged. And a lot of people have either sent their kids to college and they realize they now have time for themselves. They call me up, they say, I'm frumpy, I look middle-aged, can you help? Mm-hmm. And other women will say, I have just gotten a divorce and I'm ready to find someone else.
Yeah, yeah. I remember seeing a cartoon years ago. I forget who did it, but there was this kind of overweight, just sort of middle-aged looking woman, Susie Collins, and she's standing in front of the mirror with a big smile saying, little Susie Collins, all grown up. But I think
all grown old.
Yeah, I guess. I wanted to ask, too, in regard to creating the best version of yourself for folks, I would imagine there's a series of questions that you ask. For instance, when you and I worked together, I said that I want to dress for my work at Carl House, or someone else might say for corporate America. I know that everyone in my office has a particular different style and preference. How do you address that with people?
Well, I can determine fashion personality and also a style personality. It depends. I always sit down with my clients for 2 hours the first time, try to determine what they're trying to accomplish. We set image goals.
And you have a lengthy questionnaire.
Yes, I send out 5 questionnaires before I meet with my client the first time, just so we get the best value for the meeting the first time. I don't want to waste time, actually waste their time and mine and their money.
Right.
So I know ahead of time what they're looking for, and then we can go right to work.
Okay, okay. Now, how long typically do you work with someone to go through their closet and or do shopping with them, or to go through, I know you have different color analysis and
different products.
Yeah. What's the typical timeline
I would say
for
the
someone?
typical, the first meeting is 2 to 3 hours. We sit down, my client will have done her homework, torn out pictures she likes or she doesn't like. We talk about setting image goals. I do a very mini color analysis, hair analysis, makeup analysis, and then we moved into the closet. I have my clients...
Which is scary for a lot of guests or clients,
yes.
isn't it?
It is scary. In fact, I believe that people call me when they're ready to start organizing their closet. They just need that little push.
Right.
It takes about 2 or 3 hours. My client will try on everything. I will show them, I will teach them what looks good and what doesn't, and I will most probably make up a lot of outfits they did not know they had in their closet.
Well, when Peggy came to my closet, I was amazed. We put together colors that I typically wouldn't put together, and shoes and all kinds of things.
It's so much fun because there's so much versatility. If you buy clothes in all the right colors, you will eventually be able to mix and match everything, as we did when we went shopping.
Right, right. Now, as far as I know that you have also a more extensive color analysis program. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the color analysis takes about 90 minutes. I use from about 60 to 70 different drapes, and you will walk away at... Actually, my color analysis is based on the seasons, on the 4 seasons, but I go much further. Within each season, I have 3 categories. No one is 100% cool or warm. everybody flows into another season. For example, most people are 80% one thing, flowing into 20% of another season.
I know I'm primarily autumn, correct?
You're primarily autumn.
Well, what am I flowing into?
But I would think you are flowing into spring, which are two warm seasons.
Okay.
As far as color analysis is concerned. Mm-hmm. During the color analysis, I also talk about patterns and prints and contrast, which most people just talk about the best colors. I will tell you about prints, patterns, sheen, shine, contrast, what looks best on you and what doesn't.
Well, now what about when a client comes up and says, oh, but I just love this outfit. I feel so good in it. I feel so pretty in it. And you feel that it's not the right color or the right style or...
Well, if there's only one outfit, I will let them have it. I will let them keep the outfit. However, I try to persuade. It's all about taking baby steps. This is not a makeover. Working with an image consultant is taking baby steps.
Well, I know one of the big steps for me was Peggy, I tended to wear a black belt all the time. Yes, and Peggy kept saying, well, you get rid of that darn belt. And you had said that wearing that belt instead of wearing a blouse over my pants or my skirt, made me look short-waisted.
Yes, very short-waisted, because you have long legs, and by wearing a black belt above your waist made you look even longer and out of proportion, because it's all about scale, balance, and proportion.
Now, and is it based on, I mean, I know that our culture is crazy about thin or a certain look or a certain style. You know, the pre-Raphaelites, the women could be much more Zoftic and fleshy, and of course in this day and age...
Yes.
What?
Very Rubenesque.
Right. So you're saying there's sort of an image that is considered beautiful in our culture at this time that we...
You're right. It's all about balance. It's all about being as close to a perfect 10 as possible. And you can do that with clothes. Clothes are used as camouflage. They're used as disguises. They make you look as perfect as possible.
Well, and I know I've seen people who have more pear shape, maybe bigger hips, and depending on what they're wearing, the dress, they look long and lean.
Well, in that case, if you're pear-shaped, you should wear shoulder pads to kind of keep everything in balance.
Now, I thought shoulder pads were an 80s thing.
No, I'm not talking about big shoulder pads like in the 80s, but a small shoulder pad. If you are pear-shaped and if you have sloping shoulders, you're better off wearing a small shoulder pads because it'll put you back in balance to counteract your hips, the width of your hips.
Okay. Well, there's so much to know. In terms of when you go in, one more question before we take a break. When you go into folks' closets, I know I felt I had a pretty organized closet, and you said, oh, this really needs to be organized by color. So talk a little bit about why is organization of your closet key in the work that you do?
Actually, closet organization is a catharsis. It's the cleansing. It's empowering. I would say 90% of my clients, as I leave their closets, will say, wow, this was a great experience. It was empowering to get rid of all this clutter, all the dead woods.
I remember that when you left, a lot of the things that I just kept that still fit, and I thought were maybe okay, but I haven't worn in a year or two.
So why bother?
Gone, and it was just nice to recycle it and move it on to somebody else.
Yes, give it to someone, sell it, give it to a consignment store. But if you haven't worn something in 1 year, get rid of it. You're not going to wear it. And if you're really attached to it emotionally, put it in another closet. If you go get it within a year, fine, I'll let you keep it. However, you probably won't wear it.
Probably not.
No.
It was fun purging things.
Yes.
Well, we have to take a break, but we have some more time with Peggy Parks where we'll talk about different image tips that might help any of you. We'll be back in a minute.